Hello, big waves, and welcome to you. My name's Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's kind of strange days. I don't usually stop on the Saturday. It's either Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So usually Sunday's bundled in with these, with either day, usually the Saturday at least. But I will be away on Monday. So my plan is to come in on Sunday and do a week-long video because I'll be away for a good week, over a week. So we'll talk about that on Sunday. But I'm here now to pull some cards for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 22nd, 23rd and 24th of February. So I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. And I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Thursday the 22nd of February, and the time is 10:33 a.m. So it feels good to be here. The energy is actually really nice today. We're in for a pretty hot day, although a very hot day down south. It's fairly consistent where we move to, which is nice, but it's quite nice hot wind here today, and so I'm sitting here on my swinging chair and sharing with you, which feels good. Hi Lisa and Daniel, welcome. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my Oracle cards. These are cards I created, and I've got two decks combined here, the Speed of Light Oracle cards with the black back and the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards with the butterfly and the ladybug. Hello, brain and mouth, let's work together. So I've combined these two decks to make a 110 card deck, and I'll be looking for the best cards that the majority of us need for Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So I'll be pulling one card for each day and then the theme card at the end. So I trust that you enjoy the time that we spend together today, and I trust that Something Shared supports you. I recommend that you take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go. Let's allow ourselves to be surprised, and let's think of this as a guide only, and just see what happens. The more you watch these videos, the more you'll get to trust in the guidance, and the guidance that speaks to you and relates to you in your life. If you're pretty new to watching, or this is your first time, then I would imagine that you'd be hopefully at least partly interested, but probably not feeling a lot of trust in the guidance yet. I feel like trust comes with experience. So the more we experience something and we see it for what it is, and if it resonates with us, then we can start to trust it. So I'm not that's just the way I do things. Hi Lisa. Thanks Lisa for sharing. Thanks very much. All right, let's grab the best cards that the majority of us need for Thursday the 22nd of February. So Thursday the 22nd of February, the best card for the majority of us is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle, and we have Scattered, card 13. I actually quite like this card. It says Overwhelm, Confusion, and you're probably thinking, why does she like this card? But it's quite an interesting energy to it. So Overwhelm, Confusion, Concentrate and Plan, and I certainly don't like feeling overwhelmed, and I don't like feeling confused. That's not why I like this card. I like this card because it actually brings an unruly, new, primal, creative energy in to our life. It shows that things are stirring up and things are shifting and things are shaking up for us at this time, and we might feel that as a bit of an unsettledness or a restlessness. We might feel a bit scattered, or we could even be feeling overwhelmed. Of course, as I say quite often, if you're feeling on the verge of or are already feeling overwhelmed, I find for me it's a sure sign that I need to take a break. So if I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, or I am feeling it, I usually can catch it before I feel it. then I need to take a break. Some short break, an hour or something, or a day if I can manage it, just to take a break, realign, reconnect, rebalance myself, and then get focused again. So I certainly wouldn't be wanting to feel overwhelmed for an extended period of time, that's for sure. So things might feel a bit unsettled on Thursday. And we're being encouraged, especially if we feel this, and especially if we are on the verge of or are feeling overwhelmed, that we just take the day as it comes, or take one thing at a time. You know, sometimes we get so overwhelmed by the prospect of all these things that we've got to do, or all these things that are being demanded of us, or all the things we feel pressured by, that actually if we stop and make a list, if we stop and this is what I found very interesting in the past when I was sort of figuring out this overwhelmed thing for me. I'd be feeling overwhelmed and I'd be stressed out, and then I'd be like, a part of me would be like, okay, gosh, there's so much stuff that I'm concerned about that I've got to do. There's like a trillion things on my list and I don't know how I'm going to manage it. Let's just get it all down on paper and see. And every single time I wrote down all the things that I was feeling stressed or overwhelmed about, I was absolutely shocked that the list was about a quarter of what I thought it was in my head. So in my head, I thought it was all this stuff, hundreds of things, and on my list, it was just a real short list, a practical, real list of things that were concerning me. So I think sometimes if we're not getting a bit of order to that chaos inside us, that things can feel overwhelmed or more than what they really are. So let's make sure that if it's helpful, let's get a list down, work out our priorities. So once we get the list out, if that's something you want to do, work out what's most important, what's most urgent for our attention at this time, and then focus on that. Then tick it off the list, then focus on the next thing, tick it off the list, you know, and make some progress. It might be slow. It might take months to get through whatever it is that we're working out. It could even take longer than that if we're, for example, if we're trying to tighten up our spending or our bills or our debt. That kind of overwhelm will tend to take a bit more time than you know, just ticking things off the list. But that sort of order is what this card's also sort of pointing to, and it's showing that if we can find that order in the chaos, then we can work with this energy much more excitedly, which is why I get excited about this card now. Perhaps once upon a time, this card might have come up and I'd be like, oh gosh, overwhelm again. But now I actually get quite excited for it because I find it a bit of a challenge, a bit of a puzzle that, okay, I'm feeling that, let's work it out, let's get a perspective on this and let's work out a plan. And I really thrive in that sort of environment. So I find this very exciting. Where can we take this unruly, restless energy? How can we help it sort things out? Or how can we use it to help sort things out for ourselves in our life, for example? So that's for Thursday, this scattered card. Welcome. Hi, Leela and Vicky from Newcastle, and Tanya's here. Valentina. Thank you and welcome to you all. Okay, the best card for Friday the 23rd. Well, we've got 23. Well, we had 23. Well, we did have 23 that moment, viewers. Friday the 23rd of February, the best card for the majority of us is this. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, and it is this, the rabbit. Okay, so the rabbit, card 16, it says to make your move. Make your move, even if you feel scared or petrified or fearful about what might happen or what could happen if you do make your move. There is this sense here, you know, like the rabbit might be munching away on some grass, a wild rabbit, let's say, and then it hears a noise or something catches its eye and it freezes. It's sort of petrified there, maybe figuring out whether to run or whether to stay, whether to freeze. And this is sort of the energy around for some of us on Friday too, where we might be feeling quite scared. We might be feeling a bit of fear or a lot of fear as we're preparing to do something. Usually it's when we're preparing to step out of our comfort zone. There might be something that we need to speak up about, for example, or there might be a move that we want to make which is probably what this is because it says make your move. But sometimes it's words we need to say, you know, like air we need to clear, or we might need to stand our ground with something. So there might be something communicative here that we need to consider and consider what we're scared about and can we make our move with this. There might be something more physical that we need to consider taking action on Friday, that we might, there's going to be some type of fear most likely around this, which is why this card's come up. So it's a fear, and then we're being encouraged to feel the fear but do it anyway. And one of my best, that I find my best antidote to when I feel fear, is not to let it go, not to try and push it away or ignore and pretend it doesn't exist, because it just wants to get louder. I find fear like a veil, and the best way that I can overcome that fear is to build my strength and my courage in myself, work with the power of my breathing, for example, get into a more confident, focused mindset perhaps. Sometimes it includes getting more active physically, so it might be doing a bunch of exercises or strengthening my body to help strengthen me and feel a sense of strength to move through that fear, like it is a veil or a cloud or a curtain that's trying to stop me from seeing something that's on the other side. So think about, perhaps if you're considering making your move, that you're not going to get rid of the fear. The best thing you can do is build your courage, build your strength, build your confidence, get focused and go through it and see what's on the other side. Otherwise, we let the fear stop us and the fear gets bigger and bigger, and then we may chicken out and go and do something else that's more comfortable. So if you really want to push yourself, if you want to step out of your comfort zone, which there's a lot of that already coming up, if you need to step out, if you need some change, if you need to get out of the rut and you've been asking for that lately, then this is all that push forward out of our comfort zone is the feeling. So we are ready to make our move, even if we feel fear. Fear is normal. Fear is quite normal as we prepare to step into something new or something that's different for us, something that calls us to be more of who we are. So that's for Friday. Let's grab the best card now for Saturday, the 24th of February. So Saturday the 24th, the best card for the majority of us is... I feel like I'm bouncing around on this, but, you know, I could be sitting here swinging and talking to you, which would be hilarious in my mind. I'd be cracking myself up if I did that. So the card for Saturday is an Animal Kingdom Oracle, and it's the Solar Cycle card. This is a featured timing card, and it has further instructions here which say to take the top card from the deck. So that's easy. We just go to the top deck, top card, and we've got the Stag card 49. So these two cards have come up together for a reason. So we're going to look at them separately first, and then we'll look at their relationship together. So this one's pretty simple because it's a timing card. So it's Solar Cycle card 52, and it says 24 hours past or future. So this is talking about a 24-hour period, especially on Saturday. So it could be Saturday itself, or something that we're waiting on around a 24-hour period, or hours. We might be waiting hours for something, so news or information, the green light to turn on, that kind of thing. I also find this card tends to come up, at least it comes up for me, and when I'm doing readings for people, reminding us to take one day at a time. So sometimes we get a bit ahead of ourselves, or we want to map things out for the next 6 months. But maybe we're not at that point where we can do that yet. So taking each day as it comes, that's got to be good enough when we can't map things out much further ahead of time, which sometimes happens when we're in between change and that kind of thing. And it's come up with the Stag. Now this is card 49. This is this. We've got two stags in this combined deck, and this is the stag that I call the Sad Stag. And he looks a bit sad, this stag, and he says, lost, help, guide, path, and discouraged. There's a part of us that this card is highlighting, and it's usually mental. It's usually part of our mind, our lower mind, that makes us think that we're off track, that we've taken a wrong turn, we've gone backwards, we've not done something that we should have, or we're just not on our right path. So if you've been thinking that lately, this card is reminding us that, well, yes, we've probably been thinking it, but actually in truth, and you'll probably feel this when I say it if you haven't heard me say it before, or you haven't thought about it before, but our path is always under our feet because it is our path. So our path can actually be nowhere else but under our feet. It doesn't matter how fast we run, we can walk on our hands, our path is always there under our feet. And where we're looking ahead, so where our body's facing, that's our future. And where our back is, that's our past. And so we're on this sort of, it's like a horizontal path that journeys through time and journeys through life. And that to me is our life's path. Now sometimes, like, we can literally not be off that path, but sometimes we get so out of alignment with ourselves or so out of balance with ourselves that a part of us, like, we become sort of disconnected from ourselves and disconnected from our path. So a part of us, usually our lower mind, will think that our path is way over there and we're out here on our own and there's something not right and this kind of thing. So it can go on a tangent of negativity that pulls us or keeps us at length or at distance from our actual path. So this card is about, the stag is about getting back into alignment with ourselves, especially bringing our mind back into alignment with our body, back into alignment with our emotions, back into alignment with spirit. So we feel this connection, or we start to reconnect with these really important aspects of ourselves, which are aligned, or when aligned, are on our path. So whatever you've been feeling disconnected from, especially in regards to your life's path and direction that you're taking, or things that you may think have gone wrong, think about, perhaps instead of getting focused on that, see if you can get yourself back into alignment, especially on Saturday. Get back into alignment. How might you do that? So how might I do that? Well, if it's my mind, my lower mind, that makes me think I'm off path and I'm feeling all restless and scattered, perhaps that's partly the reason that card came up as well, and scared, because we also had the rabbit. So if I'm feeling all that and I'm feeling like I'm not really on my path and there's just no clear direction right now, what can I do about it? I need to be aware of this disconnect that I feel within myself and my life itself. And then I need to look at why I might be feeling or thinking this way. Am I feeling low about myself? Are there issues that are coming up? Are there things about my life that aren't working that need my attention? Because not everything's, in fact, it's rare that everything's all rosy and happy and we're skipping around sprinkling rose petals everywhere. Life is full of challenges. So there might be things in my life that I'm just not happy with, or it's not working for me, or I'm out of whack with right now. So I need to look at the bigger scope of my life as well. So if I determine anything needs my attention, then I'm going to explore that, maybe in the days or weeks to follow, depending on what it is. And then I need to make really quite priority for me to get back into balance and back into alignment, back into center. So I need to kick that lower mind out of the driver's seat, and I need to get myself, my higher self, my heart, if you like, back into the driver's seat of my life. And then I need to, that will help me at least start getting back on track. Now, of course, that's simplified. There's probably more complicated things that are happening out there, and it may even be connecting, you know, for you, it may be connecting with some of these other cards. There may be some fear in making our move, and when we're scared and we hold ourselves back, that can disconnect us and knock us out of balance. So there's a lot of things that can knock us out of balance. And, you know, we can be a bit of an investigator and look at the bigger picture of our life and our role in it and what's going on, to try and figure out, like a detective, you know, what's out of whack, what needs to change, what about our routine needs to tighten up, which I talked about in the last video quite a lot. So let's get back on track. Let's know we're on our path, and let's get everything back into alignment, back into balance with ourselves, reconnect back in, plug ourselves back in to our path. Now, we might be feeling this over the course of a sort of 24-hour period, especially around Saturday. We may even be feeling that now. You may be feeling this now, and it may be Wednesday or Thursday for you. So we have around a 24-hour period, I feel like it feels highlighted, like under the magnifying glass, and for a 24-hour-ish period around Saturday. So it could be like midnight to midnight Saturday. It might be late Friday night to late Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon till Sunday afternoon. But there's a rough 24-hour period, like a window, it feels like, where something opens up and it feels like things are sort of amplified or magnified or under the spotlight to give us an opportunity to get things back on track. So we might find things get worse before they get better, especially in regards to that rabbit card, where the fear may get louder and louder when we're just about to push through it. So sometimes we move into breakdown before we move into breakthrough. And sometimes we need that to sort of drop through it all so we can break through it. So don't be surprised if things probably get a bit worse or amplified if you've been kind of out of balance lately. But use this as an opportunity, not as a punishment or something towards you, but use it as an opportunity to turn that breakdown into breakthrough, to turn that challenge into an opportunity to grow and become more aligned with yourself and your path, or to improve your life itself. So there's quite a lot in that, and maybe there's something in that resonates with you. But let's see what happens and see how you feel. So that's for Saturday. So thank you so much. I'm going to pull the theme card in just a minute. But before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to. And if you'd prefer to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. So yeah, I've got lots of things coming up. So at the moment, Spirit Guide drawings are half price. That ends tomorrow, and it'll be ending pretty early. So probably in the next 24 hours, last opportunity to take advantage of that if you want to. I've got like 17 orders that are taking me well into April before I can even get those last ones done. So last 24 hours to enjoy that. If you're watching this live, you can find out more on my website. It doesn't really happen. I don't do Spirit Guide drawings half price. So this is very much a one-off to celebrate our 19th birthday, which is actually on Sunday. So I'll be back on Sunday for something to do with our birthday, or I might even pop in Saturday. I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling. So keep an eye out for that. Some birthday celebrations of some sort. Also, my solo exhibition is coming up next week. It opens next Wednesday, the 28th of February, until Monday, the 4th of March. So if you're in Hobart, or you're going to be in Hobart during those 6 days, then please come and visit my exhibition. It's at Salamanca Arts Centre at the Studio Gallery from Wednesday to Monday. But you can learn more about that too on my website. We've got my next card reading club and my online art class coming up in the middle of March. And if you'd want to learn more about these cards or whatever I do at Temple of Balance that speaks to you, there's lots of stuff I've created over the last 19 years. So please have a look at templeofbalance.com.au. So let's now look for the best theme card. The theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Thursday the 22nd till Saturday the 24th of February. That's approximately. So I don't feel that fixed on the dates. It's more the energy. So usually as something passes, we'll move into another energy, and it's probably going to be around this date. But I don't put that much weight into the dates. It's more the information that carries the most weight. The dates are a guide. So the best card for the theme for Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the majority of us is this. Thanks everyone. It's a Speed of Light Oracle, and it's this. It's the Wolf. We haven't seen this card for a while actually, have we? Card 44. And it says, instincts, moon, cycles, flow, and trust. This is showing us that at this time, and as a general theme right now, that cycles are at play. So there are things cycling through, just like the season cycle, and we might be noticing that quite a lot right now as we move out of the main seasons of summer and winter. So we're going out of summer and into winter, and the nights are getting a bit cooler, but the days are very hot hot right now, which is interesting. But the nights are getting cooler, the days are getting shorter, and we're noticing, or I'm at least noticing, that transition out of summer and into winter. And those of you in the north are probably starting, hopefully, to notice that maybe you're getting a bit longer in your days, maybe the weather's getting a bit warmer, maybe not. But the cycles are certainly shifting through, and we see that cycle in the seasons, we see it through day and night as well. So there's a cycle at play at this time. So, you know, when cycles, which are like a pattern, are in play, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm feeling this way or why things are like they are, if I can see a bigger picture, a bigger cycle, a bigger shift, a pattern, or something that's in play, then that can help me see the bigger picture of an issue or a bigger picture of an immediate problem that I might be dealing with. So there might be a bigger shift that's occurring that is trying to shift out and shift to the surface and then shifting away. So there might be a bigger pattern that's at play here for some of us at the moment, where there might be issues from earlier in our life. There might be our self-doubt or our lack of self-worth or lack of self-value, lack of self-respect. There might be this sort of stuff that's cycling up at the moment and coming up to the surface. And we may have felt like this before, and we might be tempted to fall back into old patterns, you know, an old pattern of reaction, an old pattern of denial, an old pattern of addiction perhaps, which is the way we might be have taught ourselves to cope with such things throughout the last decades potentially. So it's probably worth looking at, considering stepping back and seeing, is there something bigger at play here? Is there a bigger, longer cycle that's playing out? And am I in a position at this time, am I feeling strong enough and clear enough and ready to break this pattern and to break this cycle so that I can start perhaps going down a new path or having a new response to this pattern, or break it altogether would be even better. So there might be something like this that's deeper at play, and if that speaks to you, it might be helpful over the next few days to sort of step back and get a little bit of distance from the immediate problems and the immediate dramas that are playing out. Step back a little bit, perhaps meditate if you're in the right mindset for it, maybe step out into nature, go for a walk, get a bit of distance from the problems and reflect and see, is there something bigger at play here that's cycling through? Where there may also be, and it's relevant with this card, trust issues that may be coming up as well. And usually trust issues come back to lack of trust that we have with ourselves, and a lack of trust and confidence in making the right decisions for us in our life and going with the flow of how things are unfolding and that kind of thing. So if you're dealing with trust issues, then this is probably also quite loud for you right now. So look at the pattern, look at when you felt like this before. Maybe look at your journal and writing in your journal and getting a bit of perspective, look at it from other angles, and look at this as an opportunity to break these patterns now and to shift and clear those trust issues and to push through that fear that's been stopping you for too long. It's time to build up our strength and push through that veil of fear. So that's our theme card, the wolf. Thanks so much for connecting. Have a great rest of your day. I'll be back to share with you again soon. So take care. And goodbye for now.